Thank you, thank you. We have a great show for you tonight. Let's get to it. Our first skit is about presidential hobbies.
I'm President Andrew Jackson, and welcome to my garage. I like fast things, fast horses, fast cars, jet skis, vintage flying machines, sleek choppers. But I have a deep love affair with automobiles. I like fixing them, restoring them, crashing them into telephone poles. Here are a few of my favorites from my collection. This 1975 cherry red Ford F100 pickup. Old Faithful, best truck in the United States. The wheels got a nice, soft feel to it. I like the old classics, like this 1932 Model T. I always feel so presidential when I'm sitting in it. Nowadays, like most folks, I order cars online. Just got this new Cybertruck thing. I guess it's a truck. Kinda. Still can't find the engine. Next time I'll show off some of my more quirky collections, like this shaggy VW van. This is President Andrew Jackson, and this is my garage. Let me know in the comments below what cars you'd like me to review. I probably own one. Let's be kind and subscribe. Thank you.
Up next, Dolphins in Space.
Since time immemorial, dolphins have dreamed of leaping out of their aquatic world and reaching for the moon, the stars, and beyond. They were determined to make this dream a reality. No one could doubt the dolphins' superior technological achievements. Their underwater domed cities were a marvel of engineering and design. And they had already developed advanced, cutting-edge transportation vehicles. They simply needed to adapt them for the rigors of space travel. They assembled a team of their best test pilot astronauts, legends such as Grist Grizzle, the first dolphin to break the sound barrier underwater; Commander Bud Budman, rocket scientist, billionaire, adventurer, and reality TV star; Hank Hunkerson, the brash teen dolphin nuclear engineer and actor, would be the first dolphin to walk on the moon. And finally, Susie Susanna, popular dolphin social media influencer and brain surgeon. She would be the first female dolphin to walk on the moon. The Dolphin space program was covered widely in the world press. Despite numerous setbacks and failures, the Dolphin space program finally achieved success. On June 15, 2032,
Liftoff and the clock has started.
the Fortuna 5 rocket broke through to the surface and left the ocean floor for the moon. Grist Grizzle made history with the first dolphin untethered spacewalk.
Nice to be in orbit.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
After checking their equipment, the astronauts were given the clearance to head toward their destination. On June 17, 2032, Commander Hank Hunkerson became the first dolphin to set foot on the lunar surface, followed shortly by Susie Susanna. After conducting scientific experiments and collecting samples, the crew landed safely back on their watery home to a rapturous welcome and worldwide acclaim. There were parades, speeches were made. Shiny medals awarded. not ones to rest on their laurels, the Dolphin space program moved forward rapidly to develop more powerful, advanced rockets, pioneering photon-powered carbon-neutral propulsion systems necessary for interplanetary travel as they set their sights on Mars. On December 24th, 2042, just 10 years after the first Dolphin moon landing, Commander Pat Patrickson made history as the first Dolphin to walk on Mars. They developed sophisticated technologies to navigate the Red Planet and adapted their engineering acumen to build Dolphin Mars bases that continue to amaze the world with their beautiful, efficient, and ergonomic habitats. And so, after millennia of planning, development, and execution, the Dolphin dream of reaching the moon, the planets, and beyond is now, finally, firmly in the flippers of Dolphin kind.
Up next, the Rat Fashionistas of New York. Thanks for joining us. And please, don't forget to subscribe.
Our next skit is about New York City fashion.
This is Rodentus urbanus, more commonly known as the New York City rat. Long considered a nuisance among New Yorkers throughout the ages, always seen, typically at night, rummaging through our garbage, littering our streets, living like pigs, loitering in alleys, ruminating the poor, pathetic choices they've made in life. Nowadays, they're whacked out on the wacky tobacco, or something called crank. Rats have always been viewed as losers in New York's never-ending rat race. Little, however, has been said about the New York City rat's sophisticated sense of fashion, sartorial flair, and ability to keep pace with the latest New York fashions over the centuries. By spying, stealing patterns, listening in on tailor conversations, the rats, over time, developed a high-tech program to obtain the skills and technology that has enabled them to maintain a steady supply of cheap, mass-produced, up-to-the-moment clothing fashions. They developed an army of famed rat tailors using the latest tape measures available. Their shops and factories are today found in the hippest and high-end New York City neighborhoods, all the more to enable them to infiltrate the human world and pass, unnoticed, as just another one of the millions of rats in the city that never sleeps. The rats have kept up with the latest fashions, even regrettable ones like the straw hat craze of the Roaring '20s and the bell-bottom jeans craze of the '70s. Rats even endured the disasters of the disco era. Using their clever knockoffs of the current trends, they've largely gone unnoticed throughout the decades. Blending in as normal New Yorkers, if there is such a thing as a normal New Yorker, throughout the '30s, the '40s, the '50s, the turbulent '60s, the '70s. Even today's New York City rats continue to blend in with their cool drip and Soho chic. Heck, even the Staten Island rats are rocking the latest looks. In 2022, a few successful rat designers launched their Rat Face line of rat-inspired clothing. A major hit, they continue to produce a never-ending string of rat face merchandise and gear that's the rage among today's top influencers, social media stars, and many, many wannabes. So, hurry, don't wait. Get your official rat face gear and merchandise while supplies last, so you can stand out among the millions of rats in New York City. Rat or human? While wearing the latest rat face designs, no one will ever know.
Let's laugh at power and politics.
There was a time, way long ago, in the 1950s, in the New York City that I remember, that is now, sadly, lost forever, when there walked among us giants. giants of industry. These were towering men, literally 10, 20, 50 feet tall, some as tall as buildings. Giants in their industry. Banking, finance, retail, construction, and so on. Many arrived on New York's gritty shores as immigrants, practically penniless. They worked hard and grew taller, stronger, smarter. Within a few decades, they would rise up to become kings of New York, outsized men with large egos, insatiable appetites and boundless energy. There were even giants among the street bums. Little did anyone suspect that these benevolent titans of industry were secretly plotting to take over the world all along. With their advanced military technology and communications, they first declared martial law. Military troops cordoned off the city, making escape impossible. And then they unleashed their secret titans of industry robots. Robots patrolled the rivers and bridges. These robots oppress us to this day. Unlike the titans of industry of the 50s, today's robot titans don't build anything. They only tear down. They want total control and demand complete obedience, or else. I miss the New York City that I remember with such fondness, when the more gentle and genteel giants of industry walked among us.
Up next, New York City Detectives.
I'm Rocco Dormaruno, private detective, ex-New York City cop, retired at New York's finest. 30 years. Jazz musician at night. Working cases when I'm not gigging. I always get my man. Greatest city in the world. I'm like every other rat in this city, only I carry a gun and a badge. Don't move. A muscle. I'll make it to Carnegie Hall one day. But for now, I'm just taking the rats off the streets.
Who you calling a rat?
I've seen every depravity you can think of. Guts, gore, snot, caca, blood. It comes with the territory. Always time for the ladies. Mrs. Dormaruno keeps me on the up and up. I've put hundreds of low-life scumbags in the slammer upstate. Drop it, mister. It's Sing Sing for you. I'm proud of that. Yeah? You don't say. What's the word on the street? I hate this traffic. It's a glamorous job. I always look my best. But it never gets old. My nose hasn't let me down yet. This city's a human garbage dump. But you know what? I love this town. See you later, alligator.
We could all use relationship tips. Let's watch.
All right, men, let's get right to it. The following are the top 10 men's hobbies women don't like. Unless you want your missus to give you that look, you know the one. These are the hobbies you must give up immediately. Number 1, playing video games. That's right. Your video gaming days were over the moment you met your woman. Alone, online, or with your bros, forget about it. You'll never play video games again. Number 2, taxidermy. Stuffing dead animals to hang on your wall. Come on now. Ain't a woman who ever lived that would put up with a man bringing a dead zebra's head in the house. Number 3, comic book collecting. Your ability to spend huge amounts of time and money on comic books were over the moment you said, I do. Just sell what you have and stop reading comics, or anything else for that matter. Number 4, model trains. You can choo-choo your ass goodnight if you keep spending time with those awesome model trains you've been loving your whole life. Donate what you have to the Salvation Army. It will save your marriage. Number 5, collecting figurines, Pez dispensers, G.I. Joes, Star Wars. What are you, 10 years old? If she hasn't thrown them all out yet, it's only because she doesn't want to see you cry like a baby. Number 6, gambling. Gambling of any kind is usually frowned upon by the ladies, unless, of course, you hit the big one and can buy her expensive cars, bonbons, and mink furs. But face it, you're a loser, so quit while you're ahead. Number 7, online trolling. Trolling is the road rage of the internet. The little lady will find you less attractive with your troll face on, so stop it already. You're scaring her. Number 8, bird watching. As badly as you want to watch that eastern meadowlark you've been lusting after, there's only one bird you need to keep your focus on. This one. Number 9, smoking cigars. There ain't a woman alive that likes cigars. If a woman says she loves cigars, she's lying. Besides, you might just set the house on fire. Number 10, clubbing. Chances are you met your old lady at a club. That's what happens at clubs, you know. You meet people and have sex with them. So no clubbing for you unless you want a clubbing when you get home. So there you have it, gentlemen. If you don't want to see that glum look on your pretty gal's face, give up all those things you used to love and just do whatever you have to do to get this look instead. Yeah, that's the look. Peace out, brothers.
Here's a bit about history perhaps you've never heard before.
In the summer of 1944, in the French town of Saint-Clair-Voyant, we found ourselves under heavy enemy attack, surrounded by enemy forces with superior firepower. They had us on the run, and we were taking heavy casualties. Facing complete annihilation, Captain Henderson radioed Air Command and asked them to deploy our top-secret AIDEI soldiers. I know what you're thinking. AIDEI soldiers in World War II?
Watcher 6.
Come on now, you're joking, right?
Air support inbound.
You see, little did anyone know, but the military had been secretly building an army of AIDEI super soldiers. The plan was to create an equal but diverse army of giant, chiseled, gorgeous, artificially intelligent squadron of elite but sensitive killer soldiers. They had to be no older than 25 and had to have equally beautiful bodies. Couldn't be an ugly one in the bunch. They succeeded. Why, just marvel at their diverse beauty. manufactured deep beneath the Pentagon at the cost of billions of U.S. taxpayer dollars, these were half-machine, half-human weapons of mass diversity. They were completely drained of any trace of bias, bigotry, or common sense, thus guaranteeing their equitable and inclusive openness to everyone and everything, except for Nazis. Armed with the latest PC terms and pronouns, they were ready. You see, the thinking was that once enemy soldiers came up against a squadron of super woke, artificially intelligent, highly diversified, inclusive, and supremely good-looking killer soldiers, why, they'd give up immediately. Shoot, it was believed superior diversity power alone could potentially end the war itself. Who could possibly fight against such paragons of equity, such icons of unrivaled inclusive superiority? Impossible! Just look at those six-packs. Mere mortal soldiers like us don't stand a chance, let alone our closed-minded, less diverse enemies. And so it was lucky for A Squadron that the B-52 that came to our rescue had a few crates of these diverse AIDEI soldiers on hand.
Air support inbound. Care package inbound.
And they were able to drop those super sexy AI soldiers close to our position. As soon as the crates landed, the AIDEI army sprung into action. Why, just one look at our diverse, multi-ethnic, multi-gendered, woke soldiers, and our enemies were gobsmacked. Literally, their eyeballs just about popped out. They ain't ever seen the likes of such inclusion. Terrified by the sheer diversity firepower coming at them, they ran like cowards. The equity vibes were simply overpowering. Some of them even got run over by their own tanks. They was running so fast. Within minutes, they surrendered to our smoking hot AIDEI soldiers. And it was all over. St. Clair Voyant had been liberated from the enemy and well on their way to a diverse, equitable, and inclusive future. You might never have heard about the AIDEI Army if the military hadn't only just recently declassified their entire dossier on the program. There's even more examples of their deployment during the war, but we'll save them for another episode of the AIDEI Soldiers of World War II. Don't forget to subscribe. And God bless America.
Finally, a bit of a horse tale.
The following program is brought to you by the Cowboy Scientists of America.
Hello there, I'm Henry Buck Jr., and I'm a former president of the Cowboy Scientists of America. Today I'm going to tell you the story of how we developed the world's first egg-laying horses in America, right here in Laramie, Wyoming. If there's one thing cowboys love the most, it's being out on the trail with their horses, coming back to a warm campfire, and waking up in the morning to the sound of fresh eggs sizzling on a frying pan. But packing eggs on the trail ain't easy. They tend to get all scrambled up in your saddlebag, no matter how well you pack them. So one day, in 1952, a cowboy by the name of Crystal Billy got a crazy idea in his head. What if horses could lay eggs? Why, a cowboy would never have to pack eggs again. He'd just wake up in the morning and go pick himself some fresh horse eggs from his horse's nest. Sure, the eggs might look a little funny, what with a teeny tiny baby horse in there and all that, but hey, an egg's an egg. So he brought his idea to us here at the Cowboy Scientists of America headquarters. We studied his proposal intensely.
The horse or the egg? Which comes first?
In late 1952, we began development deep at our underground testing and research laboratories here in Laramie, Wyoming. We rustled up the greatest cowboy scientists in the world in the field of robotics, engineering, genetics, and animal husbandry, and wifery too. We probed down to the cellular level to unlock the secrets of what makes a chicken, and what makes a horse, a horse. Our early experiments were complete failures, grotesque abominations, unnatural, monstrous, mutated beasts. There was this, and this, and this,
Help. Someone please get me out of here.
and this, and whatever the hell this thing is. All this was highly unethical, of course, but it's all right. They didn't live long anyways. Slowly but surely, however, progress was made. The merging of equine and bird was starting to look like a real possibility. Until at last, on December 5th, 1972, after decades of experimentation and billions of dollars, the cowboy scientists of America created the first fully functioning egg-laying horse in history. We named her Molly after my granddaughter. Molly would go on to lay hundreds of eggs, some of which make up today's growing herds of Wyoming's highly coveted egg-laying horses. And so what started as one cowboy's impossible dream is now a reality. After a long day on the trail with friends, there's no need to worry about broken eggs in your saddlebag any longer. Nowadays, cowboys can return to their camps and go to sleep, knowing that in the morning, their horses would have laid fresh, delicious eggs for them to enjoy over a sizzling campfire. Now, you just can't go to any old grocery store and get fresh Wyoming-bred horse eggs. Sorry, partner. You can only get them right here in Laramie, Wyoming, from your friendly neighborhood cowboy scientist of America. And that's the story of how the egg-laying horse came to be, straight from the horse's mouth. I'm Henry Buck Jr., former president of the Cowboy Scientists of America. Happy trails, friends. And oh, almost forgot. Don't forget to subscribe.
That's it for tonight. Thank you. You've been a great audience. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Good night.